Welcome back to Relatives of Weddings Explained. I'm Aubrey Boyd with my wife, Deidre Boyd.
Hello, everyone.
And we're here with the engineer extraordinaire, Mr. Perry, and we're going to explain each chapter to you in detail and give you some backstory. I hope you like and enjoy.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone, for Chapter 8, Something Tingling. This title, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know what exactly this is about, but we find out quickly what's going on here. And starts out with Judy being unhappy with her dress. And, you know, she didn't get the dress she really, really wanted. It just doesn't have, pizzazz may not be the word, but it doesn't have the it factor that she really wanted out of this dress. And so she gets a suggestion from her friend Hannah Lee that maybe, you know, she knows someone who can do a little work on this dress and fix it up a bit. And, well, let's talk a little bit about what happens to this modified dress, because it looks great when she gets it back and puts it on.
Oh, yeah, look real great. Explained. So this chapter about the dress, I'm sure everyone knows someone who has, you know, the special hands, the touch to make your dreams or make what you want that's off label look like the label.
Right.
So Hannah Lee, she referred to someone she knew who used to make dresses for her back in the day, back in high school. And this chapter came from, or was the inspiration from something that happened to me and my daughter years ago when she was in high school.
Yeah.
My two daughters, India and Diamond, they're two totally different people.
Yes.
India is carefree, doesn't really mind. It is what it is. But Diamond, when she wants something, she's going to make sure she gets it or almost as close as she can get to what she wants. Mm-hmm. But she's always last minute. So this idea happened when she was going to one of her military dances in high school. And she tells me maybe 2 or 3 days before the dance,
of course,
Mom, I need a dress. I have this dance. I already got a ticket. I got a date and so forth.
She hadn't told you any of that.
She hadn't told me anything. And again, it's off my payday. I already, done what I had to do, football, cheerleading. They always had something going on.
Right.
So now you need this dress for this ball. And she wanted a specific type of dress. So what did I do? Oh, I saw the picture. I can do that. So we went and got a couple of things together. I remember it was this black pencil skirt that she wanted. This dress was a pencil skirt, yes. And it just looked like something simple. I can just do it, iron and stitch it together. But I didn't have needle and thread at the time, and it was late. It was the night before, and so what I did is I used. Is everybody familiar with stitch witchery or iron stitch?
Yeah, what we use in the military to hem my pants.
Yeah.
So is it like
just use an iron and it melts and it attached to it.
It's like
is it like a liquid, or
it's like
a piece of tape,
a fabric.
Oh, yeah.
That when you iron it, it melts and it adheres materials together.
Yeah, I have heard about that. I had some friends who
that in the
were
military
designers.
Yeah.
And it came out great. She was so happy. When she tried it on, it looked great. But what we did not think about is when the material, now that has cooled off and is stuck and strong, when it heats up, it's going to become soft and tacky once again. It's temporary. It's like for hemming the bottom of your pants in an emergency situation.
Right, but not for putting a whole outfit together.
No, sir. So the story that was told to me by Diamond is that during the middle of the dance, the party's going and she's having a great time and she's on the dance floor dancing with her girls and her friends, and this dress starts to come apart. The skirt has a big hole in the front.
No.
And it starts to drop down. So she didn't want anyone to know that this wasn't the it dress. She had to hold her dress up as she was dancing.
While she's in,
so that nobody would know that her dress was falling apart. Her and her best friend Azaria had to run into the bathroom and try to get it together. Oh, they called me. They had to borrow a phone and called me, and she's crying, "Mom, my dress is falling apart." The only thing, it didn't burn. So she had no tingling sensation like Judy did.
Wow, but that it paints a very vivid picture of her trying to hold the pieces of this outfit together while she's still trying to dance.
Yes, the whole bottom was falling off.
So did she have to abandon the dance early?
Yes, she did. She did.
Did her date notice?
No, not at all. She left him there.
Because, he could have helped. He could have been holding certain parts of it together,
he
too.
wasn't gonna hold her like that. I came and
We
picked
didn't
her
live
up.
too far, so she went home and she just, the change dress, the change outfit, because now it was the after party that was about to happen. So that was her excuse.
Okay, so she went back.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. It still worked out. So
At least she got seen and got pictures taken in her dress
before
it fell apart. It's like a Lucille Ball episode.
Well, yeah, luckily it did not turn out like poor Judy here, who ends up running down the aisle, tearing her dress apart as she's going because the glue is stinging her so badly that it's burning,
goodness.
like fire ants on her.
Yes.
So, again, a very vivid picture of her running down the aisle in this church, pulling this thing apart.
Get it off me.
Or at the no, not the church, at the Botanical Gardens.
Gardens,
Yes.
yeah.
So where she's tearing this thing apart and trying to get away so that no one sees her naked, but just has to get out of this because it's so painful.
Yeah, it's burning, sizzling.
So now both sisters have had sort of a tragic end to their weddings, and have had to cancel the party. So neither of them are married yet.
No.
Yeah, I just wanted to show also that the father was very supportive in both weddings. Even though the sisters couldn't be at each other's wedding, the dad was there for both, and he was there to console both of them.
And remind me again, why couldn't they be at each other's weddings?
Well, Judy couldn't be in Teresa's wedding because she already had her company had already booked a hair show for her and the other beautician to go to in Atlanta.
Yes.
And then Teresa said she wasn't going to be able to go to Judy's because by the time her wedding started, she should have been on her honeymoon.
Yeah, right.
But since her wedding didn't work out, she was there for her sister's wedding, as you see. So she got to see the whole fiasco unfold.
Right. So what I'm wondering, it's not mentioned, was anyone filming these weddings? Is there any, existing...
It'll show up later on in the book.
Because, as someone who is a videographer and photographer, I feel like maybe there could be a whole interesting side story about those characters at some point, and, what they might have from the first wedding versus the second wedding. So,
and that's a good story for her and her bridesmaids to talk about it later on as well.
Right. As well as how they had to earn money again especially for Judy's redo, which we're going to come to in a little bit here. But I wanted to go back around to something because, again, these are such fun characters and, the situations are fun, but I think, of course, at the core of any good story is a good character. But what makes this story a bit unique is the fact that these are white women raised by a black father who was in an interracial marriage. And I can relate to the interracial marriage. I'm in one. But I'm very curious as to why you made the decisions you did in terms of making these characters who they are.
Okay, just make it an opposite of what people would think or what the norm would be. Normally, you see like a white couple marry, adopt a little black guy. You know what I mean? A little black kid.
Right. Yeah.
So what if you just did the opposite? What if two black couples adopted a little white baby? Just something different. So when I did this one was. Everybody know about interracial marriages and couples, but what if something happened to the mom? Would the guy be able to handle it? And he stood up.
Right.
He raised those girls and he loved them. And he was there every step of the way to the point they didn't want anything to do with their biological father because he was never there for any of those moments with them. I mean, he was there since they were toddlers. So you talk about elementary, you talk about teaching them how to drive, you try to teach them their first dance, every Christmas. That stuff really means something to kids. Every football practice, basketball practice, whatever, the girls were cheerleaders, anything. It takes time, and children don't forget that.
Do we know how old they were when the mother left Billy Ray?
Well, Billy Ray left them, and they were actually 3 and 2 years old.
Okay.
When Billy Ray left, he didn't want the responsibilities. He still wanted to go out and party and get drunk every night. And their mother wasn't going for that.
And this is familiar to me as well because my dad, Robin, who plays Robin in the story, actually remarried into an interracial relationship.
Okay.
And my stepmom is Caucasian and already had a son, Jason, who was white, being raised by a black man. Mm-hmm. And they had a child together. So it's not something that's too far off.
Right.
It's just instead of, raising a boy, it was two girls.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that some part of that is going to be familiar to a lot of people because I think, there's a lot of mixed families in many different ways that it didn't used to exist as much, but over the decades has certainly happened more. So I feel like that this is very modern in terms of this, but
you love who you love,
You do. And I don't think these are stories that they're beginning to be told more, but for a long time, these are not stories that were told.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's more common than you think.
Yes.
Especially, we were in the military, so we always saw it.
Yeah.
Military, guys in the military normally bring women back from wherever we were stationed at.
Yeah, yeah.
So being from a military family, you always saw interracial family either be black and Hispanic, Hispanic and white, Asian and black. It was always like that, so no one really cared. As long as you were happy, who cares?
Right. And, I've lived in a lot of places and it was very common, but sometimes when my wife and I go to other places, oh yeah, that's right. Not every place is, is the same.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, and depending on where you go, you learn that quickly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's what people won't say to you as much as what they will.
Exactly.
So, but what I wanted to ask too is when did their mother pass away?
Their mother passed away when they were teenagers. And
okay.
They mention it later on in the book.
Yeah.
But and that's why we always have a flashback of the mom.
Okay.
Because as they get older, you start to forget more and more of basically how they talk or their voice. That's why we partner with Fun Recollections for that one reason.
Yes.
So you can remember your loved ones, and that's going to be more prominent in the next book where you see where actually the sisters are remember more and more, and Robin going to reminisce more about the mother.
Yes. Good. I look forward to hearing more about that.
That's when Billy Ray comes in because it takes you back.
Yeah, Billy Ray's going to be involved. That's my boy.
Nice. I'm glad, I always like the richly textured characters, so it'll be nice to see more and more from them. Mm-hmm. All right, well, excellent. Thank you as always, and we'll be back next week with Chapter 9.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us again for Relative Weddings Explained. If you could please assist us by hitting the like, subscribe, and notifications button. You can also comment and share our content. These small things really help our channel and mean a lot to us. This is going to be it for now. Until next time, remember, you are cherished by us.